Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do part 3 of my crazy decluttering of 10 years of makeup. So I have found a lot of palettes that I had stashed away, and there's enough of them to make a video before I get into the rest of the stuff. So if that's something that you want to see, then please keep on watching. Okay, so we're going to start going through these. I think the ones that I show you first, they're the age is not relevant. I mean, they could be of any age, because I don't really have a good organization for my things. So that's one of the things I'm going to try to clear up with this declutter. So to make it easier for me to film future videos and things, I'm going to try to create a makeup room, and in order to do that I need to get rid of a lot of this stuff, because chances are I probably really won't use it again, or they're going to be things that I'm going to keep, or they're going to be newer things that of course I'm going to use. So if that makes any sense. First one that caught my attention here, so I'm going to go over it first, is this Natasha Denona Love Palette. And I believe that this was the first in the first Beautylish box that I ever got. And there she is, and she's really pretty. And I was like, wow, I think it was only the small box. And I was like, wow, if these are like this, I'm going to be getting Beautylish boxes all the time. So the first one I got was small. The next one was large, and it was okay. And then the third one I got was awful. So, but this year's was really good, and I do have a video on that. If you go back through my videos on my channel, you'll see it. But I just thought that I'd mention that one because it reminded me of that. And then here's another Natasha Denona. This is the Retro palette, and this is a really pretty one too. It doesn't look like that oh yeah, I might have used it once. Interesting. Now we're got the Sultry by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is a really good palette. This was one of my favorites. I still have the plastic in here, but you can see if you take a look that it is super used. I used this a lot. This is an excellent, beautiful palette. And I love all the Anastasia palettes. I love the formulas. So that one's not going to go anywhere. Then I have the Norvina palette. I actually had went to Ulta one time and had my makeup done, and they were featuring this palette. And that's what she looks like. But I didn't care for the way that the girl applied the makeup. And there was a lot of people there that would just go, you know, because after you get your makeup done, they give you the palette. They really expect you to buy it. And so you'd see them all throughout the store. They're, you know, scattered around all these little Norvina palettes. It was really funny. The next one I have is a Modern Renaissance, and that's also Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I've used this one a lot as well. Now, I didn't get this when it was in its heyday. I just got this a couple years ago, but I do really like it. Totally switching things up. Here's one from Nomad. This is Intense Eyeshadow. This is the Cartagena. And I don't think I've used this, so this is probably a good candidate for Poshmark. I did sell one palette on Poshmark, which the first one to go was the Jeffree Star Pink Religion. So yeah, this has the plastic, and it's never been used, but it is really pretty. I do like Nomad. I like their formulas. This is nice and springy. There are a lot of neutrals, or I'm sorry, there's a lot of cool tones in here for it being like more of a summery palette. The only thing I don't care for is this green. So I'd never use like these two shades here. I would just never use those. I have an aversion to green. I'm not a big fan of, I don't wear green. The only thing I like green in is the grass, the trees, nature where it's supposed to be. But when it gets into clothing and makeup and things, paint, like when I first bought my house, this house I'm in here, it was painted an awful Crayola-like green in the kitchen. And here in this room here, and they had cow borders, big borders, cows. And crazy, crazy. So anyway, I digress. Going on here is the Jeffree Star Ranch palette. This is a really pretty little palette. He does such a good job with little palettes. And that's what it looks like. I've used it a lot. A lot of the times you'll see companies that they're smaller palettes. They're not, the quality isn't as good as the bigger palettes, but not Jeffree. Jeffree does a great job with his little palettes. And I really like that one. So here comes a Too Faced palette. This is Christmas Coffee. And I'm not sure if I use this, and it doesn't really matter because I collect Too Faced. Especially the items that were pre Jared and Jeremy leaving. No, I haven't used this one. Beautiful little palette. And I'll be keeping that. And it's in the tin packaging. Love the tin packaging. Rivet. Looks like we have a Violet Voss Wildflowers palette. This is probably an Ipsy leftover. All of my Ipsy, yeah, is this sealed? All of my Ipsy, this is sealed shut. Anything left, yeah, I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to sell it. Anything that I would have got in Ipsy is going to go up on Poshmark. So, Violet Voss is okay. I believe I had the hashtag palette in a previous video, and I had used that once or twice, and it was okay. But nothing that really stood out to me or grabbed my attention with performance, such as Too Faced and like the Jeffree Star, Natasha Denona, MAC. So it'll be going Tooly-Doo. We have Too Faced here. This is the one with the little butterflies. Oh, Too Femme. And this is a really nice, cute little palette. Very easy to use, very spring, summer. I love the like little pop of purple that they have in there. Really beautiful. So that's a keep, of course, because it's Too Faced. I have two Visearts that are unused. This is the Petite Pro. These are the Petite Pro. This says Troy and Doe. Is it 2 and 3 French? I'm not a French person. These are going to be going up on Poshmark. I believe they were an Ipsy thing too. This is really interesting. I actually forgot that I had it, but this was Urban Decay's Prince palette. A little controversial when it came out because a lot of people didn't feel that it was a good representation of Prince. I, however, am a huge fan of Prince. I love Prince. And when I was a young teenager is when Purple Rain and everything come out, his movie. And I don't think people today realize what a superstar he was, or how talented he was, and what a loss it is to not have him here. There is probably not a New Year's Eve that goes by that I don't think of Prince because of Party Like It's 1999. You know, he is so iconic in his music. He's just so talented, or was so talented. And when I heard he passed away, I was at work and I lost it, because I think I relate him a lot to my childhood and how things were. And I mean, when that movie opened, Purple Rain, it sold out. I mean, it took you days to go see it to be able, you know, to get a ticket. And people just don't realize how big he was. A lot of the names of these are names of his songs, of these eyeshadows. So we have Raspberry Beret, Baby I'm a Star, When Doves Cry, of course, which is white, so you'd think, you know, of a dove. But I really love this. I think I used it once, but I try not to touch it because I really keep it as a more of a memento of Prince. Yeah, Prince is, you know, he wore a lot of makeup. He wore more darker, more heavily saturated shades. There should be a black in here because he wore a lot of black eyeshadow. But anyway, to me, it's a good reminder of him, and I just treasure having it. And I didn't even take the sticker off the little icon there because I just miss him and love him so much. And here we have one from MAC, and I don't remember even the name of this. Desert Lightning. And this, I love this palette. I kept because the shade names are on this piece of plastic here, so I kept it, but I have used this a lot. And I use it to where I can't shut the lid no more. The lid is wonky because of me trying to shut it so it doesn't stay closed. But this was one of my very favorite palettes. One of the ones that made me decide to collect MAC. And I just love MAC. I don't buy MAC all the time because it is pricey. But around the holidays, I try to grab it when I can. If their website has a sale, I try to grab it. And if there's anything that really sticks out to me in a color scheme that I think I'm going to use a lot, I'll get it. So here's another one. I waited for this one. This is Nude Library. Yeah, MAC Art Library Nude Model. And I waited and waited and waited for this palette to go on sale before I nabbed it. And I've used it a lot, you can see. And there's just something about the MAC, quality of MAC eyeshadows. They're so easy to work with. And you think that they look similar. They're not. All of these shades are different, and they're all, so easy to work with, and you can create so many looks with this, and I just love it. Now, I haven't destroyed this packaging on this one. This one will close, but it's coming. So here's two little Too Faced. These were holiday palettes, and they were probably a set. One is Christmas in Paris, and one is Christmas in Los Angeles. And I'm not sure if I even would have used these, but I'd be keeping them for collectors. Yeah, they don't look like they're used. Beautiful. This is back when Too Faced cared about their packaging, and it's a holiday packaging. Used to be really, really pretty. Now there is some discrepancy in the quality of the eyeshadows from the Christmas to the tin packaging, but I really enjoyed getting these around the holidays and just to be able to put on new eyeshadow or something for Christmas. I thought it was a lot of fun. This one still has the plastic in it. This is oh wow, this is really pretty. Christmas in Paris. Just really nice things to have. I hope Too Faced gets back on track with their packaging and things and puts a little bit more focus. To me, it seems like they're focusing more on lip products, that crazy, spicy plumper stuff. So here's one that'll never go anywhere, and this is the KKW Beauty, and this is classic Blossom, I guess. And I love this little palette. I didn't think I would, but I love it. And the shades are just gorgeous. Look at this. So, I say what you want, think what you want about, Kardashians or whatever. I have never watched the show or anything. However, I do love their makeup. And Kim and Kylie, I think, have very good taste as far as their colors that they select, and the way that they arrange their palettes and things. I really love their lipsticks and the, Kylie's lip kits. In fact, one of my favorites that I've been using, which I'm going to do a video of like current favorites, is the Kylie Lip Transformative. Oh my goodness. It's like a, lip oil hybrid that gives a light lip stain, stays on. Super moisturizing. I love their stuff. So I'll be keeping this for sure because it's KKW Beauty, and that's, doesn't exist anymore. But love it. Here's another little Too Faced Christmassy. Christmas in Rome. Oh, this is a blush palette. Very, very pretty. This No Place Like Rome reminds me a lot of their Santa Baby. That's a little pinkish peachish pink color that you see in a lot of their Christmas palettes. Okay, so here's one. This is called Naked Reloaded. This is the first Urban Decay palette that I bought, and I believe I mentioned this in the other video that I've done, because Urban Decay, their redo of the original Naked palette, I loved. This was the first one, however, that I didn't really care for this palette. And this is what it looks like. Looks like they have the, the warmer tones down here, cooler ones on that side, kind of meets in the middle. I didn't really care for this one, and I can't quite put my finger on it. I think it's the shade range is weird. That pop of pink don't make any sense in there. So I used it a couple times, didn't really care for it, and I almost didn't buy the the original Naked palette because of that, because I didn't really care for this one. So I'm glad I bought it because I really enjoyed that one. But this one is kind of meh for me. Okay, here's a Lorac Pro palette, Fairy Tale Forest, I'm sorry. And I thought this palette was gorgeous. I eyeballed this for a long time till I finally got it on sale at Ulta, and this is what it looks like. And I don't care for the Lorac formula. A lot of these shades up here are too similar, and I don't care for their formula. These glitters are pretty glittery. There's a lot of fallout, and I'm just not a big fan. So that'll probably be finding a new home. Too Faced Cinnamon Swirl. This was really super popular. I remember when this came out, and it is beautiful, and I've used it a lot. Really like that. Nothing like these tin Too Faced palettes. And here's Pumpkin Spice Second Slice. And this is, I think, one of the first ones they put in this paper packaging. And it is really pretty. And I've used it. The quality is just as good as the ones in the tin packaging on these ones. Here we have Violet Voss Vibes. Now I did use this one a lot because I like the shade, the color story. It's really pretty. But it's basic neutrals, cool neutrals, but they're pretty basic. But I did like it, and I did use it quite a bit, so therefore I'm going to keep it just because I wouldn't want to sell it. I think I've used it too much for that. All right, now this is really, to me, this is a really unique piece. This is a Smashbox. This is a Holidays Contour and Spotlight palette. I only ever seen them do something like this once. And the packaging is gorgeous. It's really heavy, real luxurious feeling, you know, really pretty colors and things on it. Has a really big fat mirror in it. And this is a highlighter, blushes, and contour. And it's excellent. This is one of the best palettes that I've ever used in this format. And all these highlighters are different. You might not think they look different, but they are. Really, really beautiful, beautiful palette. And I've used it a lot, and I'm going to, of course, keep this one. It doesn't seem that Smashbox comes out with things that they used to. Here's one of those ones that I guess you could say is an impulse buy that I didn't really care for. This is Stone Cold Fox by ColourPop. And I bought it because I see everybody, you know, blah, 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 it's good, it's good, it's good, use it, blah, 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 blah. Then it's not that good. And don't use it unless you're a ColourPop fan. But the color story is beautiful. It's mostly the cooler neutrals, which I really love. But I'm not a fan of their formula, and they come out with, you know, way too many palettes and things. And you know, I have brands that I like better that have color schemes like this, and they're okay. You know, if you want to have a lot of makeup, cheaper makeup around that, you know, that just to play with, they're fine. But I find that they don't last as long. They don't stay on your eyes as long. Just that's, to me, they tend to fade. So yeah, I don't know if anybody would want this, but I might try to sell it. And so now we're gonna get into some really old stuff. So I haven't been in this tote in quite a while. And this is really interesting. Right off the top, we have the Fetish blush palette from KVD Beauty. That's the back. And this is the blushes, what they look like. And I love this. I use this a lot, especially the very light purple shade. I really like this palette. It was pretty. This is starting to, and the highlighters are really nice. It's starting to, I see little pieces of highlighter all over. I don't know if it's from moving or what, but I really love this one. I'm going to keep this one. And I have some of my KVD stuff that's older on Poshmark, and I have some on eBay. And there's not as much interest as I thought that there would be. I thought that there'd be some collectors. This is the Fetish eyeshadow palette. And this was when, you know, Kat Von D was with the company. still. And this is what it looks like. And she used to make big, pretty palettes like this. The Saint and Sinners palette, the one shaped like a cathedral, I had purchased for my niece. But I didn't purchase it for myself because they're pretty pricey. And then I waited and then got this one for myself when it came out instead. And I did like this. I used this quite a bit. There could be some more lighter shades in here for transition shades. But I did really enjoy this palette. And, you know, a lot of different looks that you can make. And I really liked it. And I'm going to keep it because how often do you see something like that? You know, and to me, I think the packaging and things are beautiful and that it's worth hanging on to. Here we have a Too Faced. This is called Dream Queen. And I think this was a holiday palette. And I feel plastic in there. Oh, must be somebody else's plastic. Oh, it's stuck in there. And you can see I used this quite a bit. And it's starting to crumble. So I'm going to be really careful with it. Is this Santa Baby in there? No, he's not. Sweet on Santa. That's a really pretty blush shade. But I really love this one. I used this well after Christmas. So I'm going to hang on to that. Very fragile. This is Too Faced. This is the Too Faced Then and Now palette. This was made to celebrate their 20 years anniversary. And this is one of my favorite palettes that I own. And this is what she looks like. Has a really huge, big, huge mirror that goes all the way across the top. The packaging is all pink glitter. And it has a lot of their original shades that they come out with. I love, absolutely love these burgundy shades. This I Can't Even and Villain. They're just gorgeous. I actually have the eyeshadow in the larger size, in its original packaging. I think I got it off of eBay or Amazon or something. And this is called Ooh and Ah. But I've never used it. I just keep it. But I am a crazy Too Faced collector, so if I see things like that, I will purchase them. But this is glorious. I love this. I use this so much, and I would just never get rid of it. I just think it's gorgeous. It has the little eyes here on the mirror, and it says, celebrating 20 years of being fabulous. And they were fabulous. Too Faced in their heyday were phenomenal. So I have Too Faced Natural Face Palette, and this, wait till you see the condition of this guy. This was my first bronzer, highlighter, blush palette. And as you can see, it has went through the mill. So I really enjoyed this. And the lid's starting to get loose. And it still smells incredible. I don't know how, but it still smells beautiful. But I love this. I wish they'd redo this and still keep the bougie packaging. And this is the Natural Eyes palette. And I believe that these two were some of my first Too Faced items. There's one thing that predated them, and it's in this box, so I'll be showing you. But you can see I wore this a lot too. And I love this. This was what I first used when I first really started learning how to do a little bit more modern makeup other than what I wore in high school, that I wore forever, you know. And that would be these. I have some Anastasia singles. Somehow I got it in my head that I was going to create a few of my own looking things, and I didn't do too well. There's a little Tarte. I don't know what this was. I probably got it on sale after Christmas, but I'll probably be putting that on Poshmark. It's not a palette, so I'm just going to pass over it. We have Peanut Butter and Honey palette from Too Faced. It's a little tin packaging. And I have used this. It's really cute. Comes with this little card. These are little cards I was talking about in a previous video that show you how to, you know, give you suggestions of what shades to use on your eyes. So yeah, love that. Here's Too Faced White Peach. Forgot that I had this. Oh yeah, nice. This is really pretty. I've worn this a lot. Like it. Love the packaging. Really beautiful. Oh, here's something different. Too Faced. I like the Natural Face palette so much that I got this Cocoa Contour palette from Too Faced. And this is in a box. And it has a little brush. And I have used the shades, but I haven't used the brush. Love that. I have, of course, the chocolate gold. Classic. Any Too Faced collector would love to get their paws on that. I remember when this came out, it was just, you know, a riot. Everybody had it. Everybody was doing demos of it. And it is gorgeous. Still smells good. Has a green in there, we'll forgive them for. But I've used it a lot. Here's one from Smashbox, that crystallized collection. I had the highlighter and some liquid eyeshadows in a previous video, and this is unused. Very pretty. Now the liquid eyeshadows I did have to unfortunately dispose of because they had a funny smell to them, so I didn't want to sell them. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Chip Palette. This is a small version of the larger chocolate bar. I've used that, I love it. And this is all mattes, which you don't see a lot from Too Faced. Here we have Too Faced Boudoir Eyes. And I love this palette. It is in the tin packaging, the older, and I've used this a lot. You can see the use on that. Love the quality of these shadows. Okay, another Too Faced Razzle Dazzle Berry eyeshadow palette. And these are more of a summery collection. And I've used this a ton. Very pretty, always enjoyed that one. Here's another Too Faced Pretty Rich. And I had one of the lip glosses in my previous video. This is a beautiful palette. Has a big pretty mirror, and there's the shades. Love it. And these shades are a little bit different formula. That with the glitters, they're not a pressed glitter, they're more of a cream. And this was a really popular palette for Too Faced also. In fact, I think some places were still selling this one up to not long ago. Okay, so here's another ColourPop one that'll go in the buy pile. This is called California Love. I don't even know when I would have got this. All I know is I'm not a big ColourPop fan. It is neutral. There's warm and cool tone neutrals in here. But I'm not just, and you can see that glitter is crumbly all over. And that's how it is on your face too. I'll probably have some people disagree, but that's okay. You do you and I'll do me. So here's a little Too Faced, the little Clover palette. It was really hard to get your paws on for a while. I had to wait for it to go on sale and then grab it. Because anything that seems with Clover himself on it's really popular, and that's what it looks like inside. Very cute, and glad that I have it. Of course, we have the Too Faced Sweet Peach Glow, and this is a blush and highlighter palette. Love this, used it a lot. And you can see that it's really got old and it has a ton of use. But I'll keep it anyway. And I have the Sweet Peach palette itself, and yep, there it is. We'll go. So this was a very popular palette for Too Faced back in its day. And as you can see, I have used it scads. It's a beautiful, beautiful palette, beautiful shade range. You know, I think it's the perfect mix of transition shades and all kinds of other shades, medium shades, dark shades. Just stunning. Still smells good. I don't have anything more good to say about that. So it looks like we have a KVD. This is Shade and Light Eye. And I've used this a lot. As you can see, this is the shimmery one. They had a matte one and a shimmery one. And I liked it. I used this quite a bit. But it's probably time to dispose of it. I'd never sell it in this condition, so we will see. Here we have the KVD Divine palette. And I remember going into Sephora when they released this and they didn't even have it out. And I was like, where? That releases today. Where is it? They had to go in the back. It looks like it's starting to crumble in there. But it is older. And it'll probably be disposed of because it's No longer wearable, but it was a lot of fun to have it. And I did wear it. Oh, this was a good one. Too Faced Life's a Festival. And the packaging is kind of puffy. Has that puffy feeling to it. Beautiful palette. This has a lot of nice duochromes in it. And there we go. Lots of fun summery pastels and things in there. All kinds of beautiful shades. I love this one. This one's a lot of fun. And sometimes you get them that you're like, I'm not going to ever wear that. And you wear it and you're like, I love it. You know, and this is one of those. Here's one from Too Faced. This is the Pretty Mess. This was a collab with Erica Jane. And a lot of people didn't like this palette, but I love it. I love this palette. And it has a, you know, it's organized rather, you know, crazily with the shades kind of all over. But this is a beautiful palette and easy to wear, and loved it. And you can see I used it a lot. So yeah, I'll keep that. All right, we're getting down to the end of them here. Here is the very first palette I bought from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is a Soft Glam palette. This is the first full-size, higher-end palette that I ever purchased, and I absolutely loved it. So you'll see that I used this a ton. I loved it. I still love it. I would never part with it. It's a beautiful palette, beautiful formulas, and I keep all the Anastasia Beverly Hills. I always look forward to them, and I just love it. I don't even have enough positive words to say about it. All right, we're getting to the end. I'll save that one for... Oh, this one was nice. This was the Smashbox Cover Shop Petal Metal eyeshadow palette. Very nice. This was a collaboration with Vlada. And I love this little palette. I wore this a lot. And it is a beautiful rose gold, neutral brown. Beautiful shades, mattes and metallics. One of my favorite, if not the favorite, that I've ever had from Smashbox, other than that holiday contour palette there. But this is stunning. Absolutely love this. I'll be keeping that for sure. Here's a little Shade and Light palette from KVD. This is a Smoke. Name of the palette is Smoke. Very pretty, all matte. Little palettes like this, so you see that big pan, that big neutral pan. They're nice to have around if you need a transition and you have a palette that's all glimmers or shimmers or something. That's what these are good for. So I'll be keeping this one. We have another Smashbox. This is Denim Eyeshadow Palette, and I remember I waited for a long time. These have the funny front. They're like 3D. And this is what it looks like. Beautiful little palette. Why don't they make them like this anymore? Smashbox, come on. Step it. Then I have the Lolita palette from KVD. And I absolutely love this palette. The color story is just perfect. So it's a purple, mauve, pinkish, glorious palette. Love this, wore it a lot. And I like this so much better than the big Lolita Purvita. And I'll be hanging on to this one just because it's such a, you know, such a memory of, you know, the company when Kat Von D was there and how good their stuff was. And I did really love this color story, so I'll be keeping that one. And the last one I'm going to show you is the palette that changed my whole makeup direction. And this is the little chocolate chip palette, white chocolate chip palette from Too Faced. I got this on sale. I had purchased a I think it was a L'Oreal palette at the drugstore, and I was so disgusted with the performance, and I paid like $16 or something. It was a bigger palette, had like 8 shades, and they were like a gray and blue and, you know, tones like that, darker tones, and the performance was hideous. And I saw this on sale somewhere for, I don't know, you know, $15. I'm like, well, why don't I just get that and try it? And this was the best eyeshadow I ever used in my whole entire life at the time. And it was so easy to work with. Just just about applied itself, and I was shocked. I mean, I had worn CoverGirl and, you know, stuff like that all my life, and I never thought that I'd, you know, step into higher end makeup until this come along, and this is just stunning. It just totally changed everything that I thought about makeup in general, and led me to the crazy addiction that I have today. Is this? But I loved it. I've worn it a ton. The shades are still beautiful. I would never, ever, 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 ever part with it, because I've tried to look for a replacement, and you just can't find it. But I'd love to have the bigger one. There was a big white chocolate chip palette, and one of these days I'm going to get my hands on that too, just to have to add to my collection. But that is all. Another little, there's Ipsy left over in my box there. So did you have any of these palettes? Did any of these grab your attention back in the day? Were you a fan of KVD? Did you hold on to that stuff? Do I probably hold on to stuff too long? Probably. However, it's been really good cleaning out my, you know, areas upstairs, so I have room for the stuff that'll be, you know, that I'll be featuring in videos. I focused on the brands that I, you know, instead of collecting everything, that I want to just collect certain ones. So that's always a good thing. I think when somebody gets excited about something, sometimes they go over purchase. I can say that quite a few of the pieces in my collection did come from like Ipsy, so it wasn't, I didn't pay full price for them. Not that that's an excuse. I do try to purchase on sale all the time. I will wait if there's something that I like and grab it when it's on sale, or grab it during the Sephora sale, the Ulta, you know, when Ulta has a sale, or from the brand when the brand has a sale. So, but that is it for my eyeshadow palettes. The only eyeshadow palettes I have left are newer ones that I've purchased within the last, like, say, 2 years. And then, of course, I have all my Jeffree Star. I didn't feel that it was relevant to put it in here, because I'm not going to get rid of any of my Jeffree Star. I will probably do a video just on the Jeffree Star that I have all by itself. But yeah, so that's it. Don't forget that I have a giveaway coming up once I hit 100 subscribers for the Natasha Denona Roxa palette that I received in my Beautylish box for this year. And I'll stop yapping now. So thank you for taking the time to watch, and we will see you in the next one. Say subscribe.